guys, thank you for joining me today. If you are new here, my name is Miles, and if you're not, thank you for subscribing. We're going to go to the Walt Disney Family Museum, which is located here in San Francisco. So we're going to be taking one of these self-driving cars, which is called Waymo. I've taken one already. It is a little bit freaky, but I'm not going to lie, better driver than most Ubers in any major city, so you're going to kind of see how we're going to get there in this self-driving car. And we are off. We're staying at the Four Seasons here in San Francisco. This is the Embarcado, but look at the view. It is truly so stunning. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a self-driving car before, but this is definitely my first time seeing it in a major city as it being something normalized. Like it's as popular as Uber. So, oh my God, here it is. You can see there's all these cameras around the car. Our chauffeur has arrived, Mr. Waymo.
Hello, Miles.
This is crazy. So you just hit start ride and it'll just take you off.
Heading to the Walt Disney Family
24
Museum.
minutes.
Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened.
He's yelling at me because my seat wasn't buckled. There he goes. I'm pretty sure all of them are Jaguar cars, because that's the only cars I've seen, at least in San Francisco. Wherever other major cities, I don't know what cars they use, but it basically shows you here it detects everything. They have all these different playlists you can play from. Top Pop, EDM. I wonder if a cop has tried giving a Waymo a ticket. Like, what happens if you pull over one of these self-driving cars? Do they keep driving? I don't know. I'm assuming they know how to stop. I definitely prefer this. You can just sit back, relax, have this car drive you around. They need to have this in more major cities. I don't know how New York doesn't have this yet. Bye, Waymo. Thanks for the ride. And we have arrived, the Walt Disney Family Museum. You can see this whole street. All the buildings look the same. I don't think this is the whole museum, but it's definitely more of a suburb area of San Francisco. All right, we got our tickets, but before we're gonna go into the main museum, if you go on the lower level here, they're gonna show a little bit of Mary Blair and the mid-century magic, which I'll show you right now. So here's one of the murals of what inspired. It's a small one. You can see the resemblance right away. Some of the 1950s features she did were Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, and Peter Pan. But here's some old photos of her from when she was doing all the drawing and development. Wow, we have an original drawing that she did. That's cool. You can see here there's going to be some of these watercolor paintings she did for It's a Small World. There's a lot of the inspiration. So the collaboration between her and Walt Disney was between the 40s and 50s. You can see her Donald Duck illustration and a photo of her with a duck. One of her Dumbo illustrations, which is watercolor and graphite on paper. We have a couple other watercolors here. I almost missed this, and this is right in the dead center downstairs, but this is a little piece of her art studio. Some of her original paints and glasses. It's really well kept. Here's a little bit of her Cinderella murals of paintings she did. Wow. We have the Alice in Wonderland wall over here. Let's see if we can find White Rabbit. He's my favorite. There he is. So that's an illustration of Mad Hatter and White Rabbit. Look at this Cheshire she did. The details of like his whiskers. Now we'll go over here to Peter Pan. And again, all original paintings that she did for these movies. Oh, I really like this one. Captain Hook. Even the clock details. See the little stars. There's another one up top, very similar. So this is how Mary started all of her artwork, with drawings like this, before she moved on to the painting aspect. Pretty cool, right? And here's some of the paintings. So if you ever stayed at the Contemporary Resort, you see that mural that is pretty much dead center in the hotel. That was hers. And it came from all the inspiration she did with the Native Americans. And it's still there today. So if you can't stay at the Contemporary Resort, at least go by and see this mural. It's really cool. All right, we're upstairs in the main museum now. So in Tokyo Disney, they have a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride, and you can see all the inspiration that they had. This is really cool. Here's one of the sets for the film that was built in Hollywood. Here is an original storyboard that they used for the film. You can see there's all these little tiny pictures that are so detailed. Here are a lot of Walt Disney's awards that he got for cinematography. Why don't they make awards like this anymore? I would love to have something like that. Here's his award for the Cannes Film Festival for Dumbo, 1947. Here are also some of the plaques here. Picture of the Month Award for Parent Trap, 101 Dalmatians, Bon Voyage, and those Callaways. So a fun fact about these awards right now, they actually brought them into Disneyland on the new Walt Disney's A Magical Life ride. That is what replaced the Great Moments of Mr. Lincoln. So there's a few missing here that are now on the ride. But this whole area is just all of his awards. Special award, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1938. I need to get to work because I would love to have just even one of these awards. Look at the details of all of them. Like, in what world do these awards exist anymore? In a wooden plank with Donald? Look TV award? I mean, come on. Now here is the famous Oscar for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where they made all these mini ones for each dwarf. So in Disneyland in California, you know there's a Disneyland firehouse, and his apartment is what was above it. Here is some of the original furniture. You have his chair, marble counter, another chair, and the curtains. You can see in this photo where they were placed. So we weren't even in the paid part yet, so now we're entering the museum officially. And this is Walt at 9 months old. So on the left side, these were going to be from the mother of Walt Disney, and then on the right side is going to be his aunt from the weddings in 1887 and 1888. But you can see here, they're all photos of his family members. Here's some of Walt Disney's treasures that he collected as a kid. It's all these pens and mementos that he collected overseas. And there's the original green pouch. So this is what Walt drove when he was in France, in the military. the original car. Now we're on the second floor, and it looks like there's a lot more involved with his movie production side of things. If you can see here, it's an original letter of Walt sending to one of his friends to join the studio. Some of the original equipment that he used for filming. This one was for the stop motion film. And this one over here was used for the Alice comedies. I'm showing you a little bit of all the Alice stories that he used to do. You can see all the animations for Steamboat Willie that he did, which is his first animated film. But here are pictures all across this wall. I'll actually show you live Steamboat Willie. Well, that's Pete, but it's pretty cool. Some of the original Mickey Mouses that he had when he first started the company. He even had a little tricycle. I don't know how old that is, but it definitely looks like it's been through a lot. Over here are going to be a lot of the original dolls that he created. So it's definitely developed over the years. Here's a little scrapbook over here. But this is all the merchandise from when Disney first started. I wonder if you can buy any of this stuff on eBay. Looks like over here they have a Mickey and Minnie toothbrush holder. So we found the earliest known drawing of Mickey Mouse. And this is in 1928. And this is an original. He's just drawn in pencil. Now walking into the other room here, they show a lot of the illustrations. This is Fantasmic. Oh, Silly Symphony. I don't think I've seen the skeleton dance before. One of the things I loved doing as a kid, I was a very big painter. So one of my dreams would have been to be an animator or painter for Disney. So just seeing all these drawings here are so inspirational for me, just as an artist overall.
Experimental short subject, incorporating many of the problems that we expected to encounter in the making of Snow White. This silly symphony was called The Old Mill.
This is making me want to go to Disney. Luckily enough, I'm going next week. So excited. There's going to be some original drawings for Ferdinand the Bull. That was in 1935. Here are going to be some original drawings from Officer Duck. From when was this? I don't know. 1939. And there's pretty much one of the original Donald's boat drawings. You can see some of the original Snow White merchandise. Here's some of the dolls, a clock, and music album. Now, if you're a big fan of Fantasia like I am, they have some of the original drawings and paintings. They also have all these ones from the Sorcerer's Apprentice, which are all originals. This looks like scratchboard. No, it's colored pencil. Look at all. He had really good cursive writing. Look at the shoe. So they would just have these illustrations and then bring it to the team for approval. So you can really tell how much work goes into every film that Disney created over the years, and still currently today, even after his passing. Now, this isn't the original animator's board, but this is an inspo based off the one that he used. And if you go into Disneyland in California, you can actually go to an animator studio and they teach you how to draw. And it looks very similar to this. Oh my god, look, they have original Pinocchio drawings. Pinocchio is one of my favorite movies. They even have little ones of Jiminy too. A little model statue. Here's some of the original articles from when everyone went on strike for Disney. And these are from 1941. And here's some photos in black and white of when they're on strike. This is a lot bigger than I expected. It just goes like room after room after room. I'm like, oh, is it done yet? No. There's a lot more to go. So here we have more of the animation room. You can see the whole design of this museum really makes you feel like you're in an animator studio with all this history. I have a picture of Walt here during the live action for Peter Pan. That was in 1953. We have this section over here. I believe, just click on something. What is that? Boop. Did it work? Maybe not. And we have Mr. Toad, also one of my favorites of all time. We also have a model of Mr. Toad and his friends. And some original drawings showing how Walt was obsessed with miniature rooms. So he would collect all of these miniature plates and silverware, tables, and just create little sets of all these different rooms. There's a little bed there, and they have guns,
Yeah, so she could
and more plates. I don't know another museum that has a full ocean view like this. It's really breathtaking being in San Francisco. Anyways, back to the tour. So we have here some of the other cameras that were used. True life adventure film, White Wilderness. This whole museum architecture, stunning. You'd miss it if you don't turn around, but they have little TV screens on the wall that are just built into it. So they have the original bench that Walt spent a lot of his time from the carousel right here, and you can just sit on it. We're only halfway through, so I could use a little sit. I wonder if Walt's ghost is here right now. So here is a saddle that Walt Disney won with a $2 raffle ticket. Can you imagine how much it is today? And being halfway through, now we're in the fun part. Look at that huge model. It goes all the way downstairs. We have the inspiration that was for the railroad for Disney. It goes all the way down. But we only ride this part. Here are some of the early television screens from 1950. And they're just floating from the ceiling. So now walking down below, here is the model of Disneyland. You can see the Matterhorn, you can see Space Mountain, all the rides from when it first opened, 1955. I think if there's something I would like to do and go back in time and do it, I'd like to go to Disney when it first opened, just to see the difference. Like how it came, from 1950 to 2025, 70 years. How much has developed since then? It's crazy to think about. All right, I need to have a talk with Disney because this was an Autopia car. What happened? Why? What did they do to poor Autopia? Because this is absolutely cool. And whatever it is now, it ain't it. It does not look like this anymore. They need to bring these cars back. Look at that. Bring these cars back, please. The Autopia cars now are so rough. we have some of the original tickets for Disney. I wish they still costed this price. $2.50 to get into the park. Now it's what, $250? Add a couple zeros, guys. That's what it costs. But it's worth every penny. It really is the best. We have some stuff over here from Mouseketeers. Everything. I wish they had merchandise like this. Maybe because they have a gift shop at the end. I hope they have something like at least aesthetically back in the day. Because I'm getting really tired of like the Disneyland merch. It needs to have something different. However, the Tokyo Disneyland merch and the China ones, amazing. The Disneyland ones, up your game. Come on, what are you doing? Now we're over here where Mary Poppins came to life. Some of the original drawings for the inspiration of Mary Poppins. We have the record from Dick Van Dyke over here, and also for Julie Andrews. Two legends. So as we know today, we have the Florida project, which became Epcot. And here are some photos of him. He didn't make it by the time it opened, but they have these original pictures and illustrations of how he wanted it to be. So when we head toward the end of this museum, they have a whole epilogue of when he passed away and all the drawings they did of Mickey, Donald, picture of Walt, a lot of crying. Sad day for the world when he passed. It was bringing so much inspiration to us all. Oh, this one's beautiful. It's so sad. Look at Goofy. His spirit lives on in all of us. That you can be whatever you want to be and to bring smiles to everyone's face. But look at these. Oh, the world's crying. They really put so much heart into all these illustrations. Like, look at Pluto crying on the world and the castles on top of it. But yeah, this is the end of it. Such a wonderful museum. I mean, you really see so much. You can feel the passion of Walt and his past and when he created Disney. Not just the theme park, but just the whole company and the studio. We can't forget the gift shop. So now we're ending with the gift shop to see what the merchandise looks like. Oh my God, they have a neon sign of Steamboat Willie. I don't think that goes with my apartment vibe, but it is cool. You can buy Mary Blair's book of art. They sell paintings from the original voice of Belle that she did, and it's $2,000. That seems cheap, right? For the voice of Belle doing her own original paintings, I feel like it should be worth more than that. They have the $400 Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket. Gonna pass on this one, but they are very cute. Oh my God, look at the mugs here. The Walt Disney Family Museum. Such a high quality mug too. I think this is like a cork that they glue on. Huh. $25, not bad. I really like this sweater. Walt Disney Family Museum. It's very soft too. And then they have Donald, World War II Donald. I'm not gonna undo it, but basically is this on a t-shirt. Alright, well that's the end of the museum tour. Thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully you guys saw some stuff that you've always wanted to see if you haven't been able to make it out here. But let me know what type of videos you want to see from me. And thank you guys for subscribing, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.